Hi. Okay, how to paint a woodland scene. We all like them, and a bit of water in. So Fabriano, £130 paper. I got this from Grantham's Arts Discount. I can get it from Curtis Ford. It comes in blocks of 100 for about £30 plus postage. It's a very good paper for wetting wet, but I wouldn't recommend it so much for working dry, but you get used to things. So with a bit of practice, I only really use it for wetting wet. Colours: lemon yellow, raw sienna, alizarin crimson, light red, ultramarine, burnt umber, Payne's grey, and burnt sienna. I've just given them a spray with a bit of water, but I've used a bit too much. So I'll just clean the scent off that a little bit, just to soften them. I haven't used them for a week or two. I've been doing acrylics. I know some of you prefer the watercolours to the acrylics, but I like to please myself. I after a while you get fed up with one or the other, so I just split between the two, alternate between the two, to give myself a bit of a refocus. And I like using the acrylics. Right. So wetting wet. How to do a woodland scene in simple impressionist wetting wet. That's a bit dirty. Let's just put a bit of water on the paper. You don't want it running down the board, but you want enough just to give it that initial wet. It will grow, and then you just reclip it. Okay, so we want a bit of colour in the background of that. A bit of sky in, so a bit of sienna. It's nice and soft. So let's just cross there. I'm going to put a bit of a stream in here, and a little bit of ultramarine. Bit of cloud. Okay, now remember it's autumn, so have a swig of tea. And put in some, well, I'm just going to just drag that down there a little bit because there's a bit of water coagulating there. So, a nice autumny blue and distant colour. This is creating the depth with the cool colour. So that's the background. Right, so I'll reclip the paper. And we'll put in some banks and stuff, a bit of green and a bit of sienna and a bit of lemon yellow, a bit of red. Bit of red. Coming as you get near the foreground, the bottom, just add some sort of siennas, reds, just warm colours. The warm colours come forward and give an impression of distance. It throws the cooler colours back. So there we are. Let's add a bit of water in there. Which is all very basic. A bit of Payne's grey and raw burnt sienna is a wonderful mix. Right, let's have a bit of blue and a bit of sienna now in there. Well, I reckon I'm going to go into here in a minute, but while we've got that nice warm colour in here, let's just go further over into here. Otherwise, if it goes in a frame, the frame will have to be somewhat smaller than need be. Right, okay, let's just lift out some bits of that's not working there, but right, that's better. Just a little bit of texture in the foreground here. It will show better in the shadow area because it's darker. Just a little bit of this and that. We get this side now, get that nice and flat, and I'll give the paper a little bit of a dry. So take your headphones off or mute your sound. Here we go. Right. Okay, that'll do. Now let's put in some nice autumny colours. Like just a bit of yellow and a bit of sienna. A bit of ultramarine. A bit of sienna in there as well, and a bit of more burnt sienna. I love burnt sienna, it's my favourite, all purpose. Need a cloth just to take up the excess moisture from your brush. Okay, now right, so while that's wet, we'll just lift out some trunks. Bit of burnt umber, I think, on there, and some red. Made a little bit darker in there. Payne's grey. It's over the top of that. I'm not sure if I'm using the right hake here. This one's splitting. This. If your hake splits, just bring it together again with a bit of water. Right, I want a bit of yellow now, a bit of Payne's grey, a bit of green. I'm trying to keep the one side different from the other. That's always a danger of symmetry. You don't always mean to do it, but it just sort of goes like it. So I don't like this hake. Not sure I have. Right. Right, then we'll put in some trunks now. I think that's, well, we'll wait a little bit more so that I can dry that with a hairdryer. If you're painting on the spot, of course, you can't do that. Right, so we can see what I think about what I'm going to do next. I'll put the reflections into this gentle stream later. I'll re-wet the paper, but in the meantime I'm going to go onto this background. So mute for the dryer, go. Sort of imagining I'm on my Tuesday morning bike ride along my river Wandle with my mates. Right, we'll put in some trees now, some trunks. So bluer ones in the background. So, but you don't want it too much water with this. So let's just. Right, it's so easy with the hake. You don't always know where your brush is going to go, but that's all to the good, because it gives this random sort of look. You can finish it off with a rigger. Right, okay, that's one. I'll just carry on doing. Probably got a little bit thick with that trunk there, but never mind. Just try to show you how easy this is to do. Once you learn to control the amount of water in the hake, you don't want it flooding down the picture. It's just a matter of practice, really. Just keep doing it. Look, you can do so much with this hake. I know I've bought the lovely mop brush, but that will be for another time maybe. But this is such a fabulous brush, and it's only cheap. But it does all of this. Look, we haven't used a tiny brush. This is the problem with when you take up watercolour painting, is to use brushes that are too small for the job. Little thin sables and stuff, riggers. Whereas here the brushes you use at the end. Just add a bit of that on there. Now we'll get a warmer colour. Let's just come in here with one just coming across here. Now I'm putting a bit of warm colour on this tree. The trees aren't brown really, they're sort of greeny grey. So we'll put that colour in. And light probably coming from, well, it's, won't worry too much about the light on this one. Put it from the thicken up as we're going up here. Just using palette greys now, stuff that's already there. Let's put some shadow in here. Just you lose that, the base of that, in a bit of nothing. One. Right, I reckon we're doing all right. I need to do something with the rigger here. Get that thick, gradual. We can texture that. Where's my card? Yeah. Just some. Okay, well that's coming on. Bit of texture here. Let's have a bit of nice dark green stuff in there. So Payne's grey, burnt sienna, lemon yellow, just do a bit of a greeny stuff. Bit of bushy stuff that I want to show as a reflection. It's just a bit of yellow, bit of blue. just put a bit of autumny colour in there, just so that I can reflect it in the stream. And put a bit of colour in there. That's not dark enough there, so we'll do something about that. Right, we'll just etch out bit obvious, but you can pull these sort of things in just to add bits of interest. If it's too obvious, then you can just go over it like that. Okay, well, I'm going to let that go. I'm going to give that a dry, and then I'm just going to put in these reflections here and a bit of filigree in the trees and maybe a few autumn leaves dotted in. Right, headphones off. On. Right, now the easiest way to do reflections now, if you don't do them at the beginning, is just to re-wet the paper. Don't scrub, because you'll just move the paint underneath. We just, let that just go off a little bit. Okay, that's a bit of blue, a bit of sienna. Bit of blue. And when that dries off a bit, I'll put some of these in. Right, that's got a bit wet, so we'll just get the brush and just dab it, just take off some of that. Okay, that's got a bit of blue. Right, we got. Right, I'll dry that. And just got some bits of twig coming down. That just gives that a further reinforcement that that is an actual reflection. Now we'll do a bit of rigger work now in these trees. Don't want to do too much of this because it takes away from the lovely randomness of the hake. But just to counter change really against the roughness of the hake strokes, we've got some harder. Okay, and then we can put some leaves, some hanging leaves. I haven't drunk my tea yet. And then we'll put it in a mount and see what's going on. Right, so I'm just drying the brush, breaking it all up. And then get some sienna, a bit of darker stuff, and just don't overdo this. I mean, it's so easy to think, well, a little looks good, then do a bit more, and then you've overdone your technique. And right, I'll sign it, and then we'll put it in a mount and have a little look at it. I'll sign it with my pen, which I use for the line and wash now. Just a little signature. Put that up there. Blue mouse, I think. Well, there we are, a little bit muddy, but I think I could have done another. I've got two there and two there, so that's a bit of symmetry, but they're different and one's nearer. So for a demonstration of how to paint a woodland scene, don't overwork your painting. I like this. It's because there comes a point where it becomes muddy. But since we're working wet in wet, there's always a bit of a risk. The background's probably a little bit dark, but I don't know. I think it's quite a nice little painting. It shows the simple stream. So have a go yourselves and leave some comments. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.